It is take after take. Producer Pat on the ones and twos. Yours truly, Carl Prather. I don't even know how to put this, but this is an epic Saturday. And before we get into previews of games within the SEC and nationally, I just want to give a PSA to everyone, every family in North Alabama and every family in the Yellowhammer State and each and every family that loves college football. If there's someone in your house, apartment, dwelling that loves this game, whatever you do, no one does anything on Saturday. From 8 a.m. through, forget it. It's just like business hours or like store hours. 8-until. Don't ask. Let me tell y'all something. Hey, ladies, we love you all dearly. We know this is the last weekend of September. We know everybody's got that fall fever. Pumpkin spice lattes, y'all drinking them things. And it's 95 degrees outside. Y'all still drinking them.
Still hot outside.
It's hot as you know, hot as Hades out there. Y'all drinking them already. You don't need to go any kind of pumpkin patch. Don't take no pumpkin patch pictures this Saturday. Don't ask to set up. Because see, the men folk have already basically dropped the little morsels to you like on Monday and Tuesday. We're recording this on a Thursday. Will be released tomorrow. They've dropped the hints. Fellas, if you don't like football and your significant other likes football, they've dropped hints to you. Don't ask about a pumpkin patch pictures. Kids with the bandanas and around their neck and by the hay bales with the smiley faces. Don't do it this weekend. Don't ask about, can you do this outside? Can you cut the grass for the last time before we... Don't ask. We don't ask for much. Your significant others don't ask for much. This is the Saturday that you don't say anything. Let them eat what they want to eat. Let them sit in the couch. Let them pass out, fall asleep, wake back up, be in the first quarter and wake up it's the fourth quarter. Let them do whatever they want to do. I'm going on this tangent because I'm just letting you all know it is lit this Saturday for college football across the country, to be brutally honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got 1, 2, let me count them one more time just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He has a hard time counting, folks. Not in his
I got
repertoire.
4 ranked versus ranked matchups before darn 7 o'clock. We know Bama and Georgia. You got Oregon, Penn State. Come on, man. What? LSU, Ole Miss at 2:30? Same time Auburn play? Ohio State's at Washington, y'all. You better check out the Washington Huskies. DeMar Williams is that deal. I'm going to say this one more time. Patrick, don't ask about going to these fields with these pumpkins and these old pickup trucks, and you standing over there and you watching and everybody smiling, looking cute and pretty and stuff, got their fall foliage colors on and stuff. Don't do it. Wait a week. Just wait a week. You can do this next Saturday. I promise you, the pumpkin patch is not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. You got 3 months. I understand. You from now until Thanksgiving. Don't do it. There's going to be some separations. I'm telling you, there's going to be some separations on Monday. I am officially off the clock at 11:45. My kids got football practice Saturday morning, and after that he has a soccer game. So we'll leave from the football practice, go to the soccer game. Soccer game will be over roughly 11:45. That'll be beginning of or end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, Notre Dame at Arkansas. That's the 11 a.m. game, y'all. What? So that's my PSA. And we're going to put this rant, if you want to call it a rant. Well, no, it's just a call to the altar. That's all it is. It's just a call to the altar. Is there one? It's a call to y'all. Everybody, all the deacons and stuff in front of the pulpit. Is there one? Come on up here. Throw your hands in the air like they just don't care. Just understand. Saturday. Don't ask anybody to do anything. We'll be back. We technically won't be back in business on Sunday either. Just come back and holler at us like Monday morning. And then we good. Next week, we got some games, right? We still got games. But like, not this Saturday. I'm done.
This is not the week for you, huh? So I can't ask you if you want to come over and help move some furniture, anything like that? You
could have a arm hanging by a thread.
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah, dog. I'm not.
It's like that.
Okay, I'm not dependable on Saturday.
The Good Samaritan just going right past the guy on the side of the road.
And I can't say 8 because I legitimately got 2 things I have to do in the morning. But after that, 11:40, high noon, can't do it. Shout out to my man Mike Singletary, 49ers. There's an old rant he had as a 49er fan. Cannot play with him, cannot coach with him, can't do it. Can't do it. Patrick says, hey man, this is the only thing I would do for you. If you call me and your baby said, you're like, man, I need a babysitter. I ain't got nobody else. Can you come to where I live? I would do 100. Call other kids. I'm doing that. If you ask me anything else to do, I'm saying, I don't care who it is. The people I live with, my wife and that baby, I'm off the clock. I don't. Erykah Badu said, call Tyrone. Call somebody else. I'm not doing it. This is a Saturday. I'm just telling y'all. I understand. You all have, ladies, you have visions of grandeur. In your head, you're like, I got this outfit. I got these knee-high boots. It's going to be 95 degrees outside. You don't need to put it on anyway. It's too hot to be having these. If you had thought about having these pumpkin patch pictures, or you're trying to have some really nice pictures and somewhere, don't ask.
What if somebody's got a wedding they got to go to?
Oh, I can't trust you in the first place. If you got a wedding, listen. Love is in the air. We love love. Everybody loves love. Everybody wants to be loved. We understand. We've walked that aisle, as Ric Flair said before. We know what this is like. When did you get married?
So I did get married in October. However, wasn't a big Alabama-Auburn game that weekend. Smart.
Looked ahead.
You have to. OCP,
married in the summer. No chance in the fall that I was going to walk that aisle in the fall. For what? All this college football? Like, we will get to a point here in the southeastern part of this country, and because college football is just ever growing, like by the year, it's going to get to a point. Everybody's going to stop getting married in the fall. It's just going to be booked from, you can do it from April through July. Just do it then. There should be a mandate.
Hot down here though in that time. It's hot.
Yeah, our wedding was out in Kentucky too in June. But we did it in June. Do not care.
You don't care.
I wish old Lindsey P said let's get married. November 1st, August 30th.
So if you're invited to a wedding, give the people some advice. What should they say? Because obviously they have some time now.
Let me clear my throat. My sinus has been acting up all day today. Here's the PSA. The first thing you need to ask.
What's the text? What's the text message?
Text. Y'all got TVs in there?
Okay.
Y'all gonna have TVs in this reception?
That's fair.
Yeah, yay or nay. If not, gift in the mail. Look at check your Amazon. You got to eat mail receipt. Check your Amazon. Check your Amazon. Check what else we got there? Wayfair. What's some of these other IKEA? Are we getting an IKEA in Huntsville? We're getting IKEA. All that. Can't do it. College in the fall on a fall Saturday, no less. No.
Carl Prather gave you the excuse, ladies and gentlemen of Tennessee Valley. You don't have to go.
Patrick, we got a truckload. I mean, this Saturday, man, I'm just like, Labor Day weekend, week 1 rather, was awesome. But this right here is absolutely outstanding. Before we get into these monster matchups, anything stuck out to you relative to last week within the Southeastern Conference amongst any of the teams, or is it just this week? It's just like it's real now.
No, I mean obviously the big game last week, Auburn, Oklahoma. I put this in the group chat afterwards. I was like, I think Oklahoma is there. I think Oklahoma can win the SEC this year. I think Auburn's close, honestly. I mean, I came away impressed with Hugh Freeze and the Tigers. A handful of Jackson Arnold makes 2 or 3 of those passes right there to Cam Coleman. It's probably a completely different ballgame. That's not even to mention everything that happened with the referees, which took bad day to be an SEC referee. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're an Auburn Tiger fan, you had to come away from last Saturday feeling hopeful about what the future looks like.
We mentioned it going into with our past podcast last week, leading into this contest, that this was just basically for me, for Auburn, win, lose, or indifferent. This was just kind of a grade for us, kind of just to see the pulse of the program, where this program is at under Hugh Freeze, what this looks like. And if I'm an Auburn fan, of course you want to win the game, but if I'm an Auburn fan, I come away highly encouraged. And I know, I get it. Everyone's going to talk about, at the time, 10 sacks, it ended up being recorded 9 sacks. Oh my gosh, Jackson Arnold got sacked back-to-back to end the game. One guy sacked him and rushed him. With all of that said, quick question. He connects with Cam Coleman on the deep ball that he threw on a frozen rope. We're talking about an entirely different football game, right?
Yeah.
How about the pass interference that wasn't called? We're talking about an entirely different football game. We know calls happen. I just discussed it 2 weeks ago with Notre Dame and Texas A&M. It happens. Much like Notre Dame, even with all of the issues that they have, the Auburn Tigers, you look at Auburn, even with the offensive line that you want to continue to see, like that's the best defensive line they're going to face all year, right?
That might be the best defensive line in the country.
No question. And once again, we discussed this in the summertime. We told you about Jackson. We told you about Stone. We told you about Art Thomas. We told you about these guys, Kip Lewis in the second in linebacker. We told you about all these guys. And yes, of course, you don't want to give up 9 sacks. And yes, there are some things that need to be cleaned up from an offensive line standpoint from Auburn, from tackle to tackle. And yes, you're going to face another really formidable defensive line this Saturday at College Station against Texas A&M. And you're going to face some more down the line. Georgia's in 3 weeks rather. But with all of that said, much like Hugh Freeze mentioned earlier in his press conference this week, yes, there were some 50-50 balls that just didn't go Jackson Arnold's way. However, Jackson has to do his very best to be able to let the ball loose. And we heard from Coach Freeze earlier this week.
He and I met yesterday, watched everything, and, tough environment, tough defense, but, we got to trust our guys, and good things happened when he did that, and we just got to continue to work to improve that. But it was, don't think he could do a whole lot about 5 of them, but there was 50% that I think the ball's got to come out.
Yeah, I mean, that was maybe rumblings around the program in the spring and fall camp. Just want to see him let it loose. You know what I mean? Just let it go. Play a little bit more free. I get that it was, it's Norman, Oklahoma. You're returning back to a place that, you thought that you would end your career at. You were a highly touted recruit. But I just look at that game across the board. Oklahoma is what I thought they were. Auburn is what I thought they were as far as from an encouraging standpoint moving forward. And newsflash, everybody, even if they lose this game Saturday, I still have a lot of confidence in how they can finish the year. You could talk me into, they're going to win one of these next 2 games.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be Texas A&M or it's going to be Georgia. Georgia comes at home, and it is mark it down. It is etched in stone. It is the night game, marquee night in Jordan Hare Stadium. If they go on the road and beat Texas A&M and find a way, and there are paths to success for them, and they got to bye, and they come back home, and Georgia takes care of Alabama, that place is going to be unglued. Have a hard time believing that is not down to the final seconds of that game. Auburn doesn't win the game. But even in the midst of that, find it hard to believe that Auburn gets dominated in this football game. I think they're going to have many chances to win. I would not be surprised if they're leading a number of times within this contest. And we know how we feel about Texas A&M. I do want to ask you this about A&M before we move on. I understand that they beat a quality opponent on paper, or what we may think about Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. Even within that game, Patrick, there was a lot of plays to be had for Texas A&M that they did not cash in on. We discussed Marcel Reed and some of his playmaking ability, but I mentioned to you he has yet to show me that he is a deep ball accurate thrower of the football. He left a lot of kind of slam dunks, as I like to call easy layups, easy balls, like let them go, right? Just didn't. I mean, things that you would think a guy that's played that as much football as he's played in his young career would be able to make. He's got straight savages and heat on the perimeter in Casey Concepcion and Terry Bussey. We know what Le'Veon Moss and those guys are in the backfield. arguably the best offensive line in football. They do a lot of really good things. But I think Texas A&M fans, if man-to-man give them a true serum, they're still waiting, holding their breaths because they're like, man, that game really could have gone away from Texas A&M if you really want to be objective about the whole thing. Now you're at home, a week off. Let's see if you are able to get over the hump that Mike Elko has been preaching to this program since the end of last year when you were 5-1 within the league and had an opportunity to play yourself well into the SEC championship game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to be a slog come Saturday. I could see a 13-10 game.
Total points under?
16. Yeah, I think so.
I think
it's just a defensive battle.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's probably going to come down to the legs of both quarterbacks, Marcel Reed and Jackson Arnold, who's going to be able to kind of control the line of scrimmage. Because, listen, going up against Auburn playing Oklahoma last week, that for all intents and purposes, looks like Oklahoma's kind of a high-powered offense. And for the most part, the Auburn defense kept them in check, kept them inside that game. So I could see this being a very low-scoring battle. But again, it's going to probably come down to either Marcel Reed or Jackson Arnold who can hit on those deep balls. Because and for Auburn, you still really haven't got Singleton going at all. I mean, Cam Coleman was dominant last week.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah. So if you can get Singleton to come along, and if Cam Coleman continues to rise up, you have what is potentially, I still think, has the bones to be the best receiver room in the SEC.
Well, even last year during last season's game, which was a great game down at Jordan Hare Stadium. Remember, that was kind of Cam Coleman's arguably his best game.
Yeah.
And now that you see him and what he was able to do, he, just absolutely feasting out there against the freshman DB and whoever was trying to check him on the perimeter last week.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just see that.
You know who he reminds me of?
Don't say it.
I'm not AJ Green.
That's a really good comp.
He reminds me a lot of AJ Green.
We still have yet. To me, we haven't been able to see Cam run yet.
No.
Think about all the balls that has been thrown his way. Even any Auburn fan, just think about all of the balls the last 2 years that he's been thrown. They have been to field at or boundary, corners of the end zone, jump balls. We've not seen him kind of get going. Bang-aids or deep digs or comebacks, or we really hadn't seen a lot of that yet. But you can start to see, that's starting to get going. And Eric Singleton, I mean, it's almost like even in that game against Oklahoma, it's like he is legitimately like a shoestring tackle away from legitimately getting loose.
Yeah.
So at some point, all of this is kind of going to come together. I was encouraged with just maybe at times, Jeremiah Cobb did some nice things at running back, really couldn't get going, but the interior of that offensive line, I thought, had some moments there. But you just kind of get overwhelmed at the end, man, with the depth of Oklahoma and their defensive line. And we mentioned it; they're just incredible. But once again, no one is criticizing the refs. They had a rough day. SEC officially came out and acknowledged that they missed some plays and missed the substitution, which was wild.
I mean, that was horrendous.
It was pretty bad, really bad. Even Hugh Freeze mentioned on his Tiger Talk show that Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry, we missed that." So
yeah, you got to make a phone call after that.
Yeah, he let him know. So I think Auburn fans have to be encouraged because if you cash in on 4 of the monumental plays that we all have discussed, the D-ball to Cam Coleman, the pass interference that didn't happen, the fumble recovery that the guy was Sategna rolled over, they said he was down, and of course the substitution, fake substitution deal on the sideline, you're winning the game. I think if you cash in on 2 of the 4, you're probably going to come away with a victory, and everyone's looking at Auburn like, man, they're probably inside the top 14. But with all that said, I think I would bet that Mike Elko and Texas A&M understands what this is and how they're growing as well. Now, here's what you can do. I can't have Jackson Arnold continue to be timid, scared, and or afraid to pull the trigger. I think that Jackson now understands that I am really, really close. It's like a psychology type deal, man, a mental health deal. From the standpoint of the psyche, man, I've gotten over this hump. I am right there. If I could just put a little bit more, just play loose and free and fun. I'll put it this way. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, hot take, we don't believe this is going to happen. This is away from strategy, X's and O's. Who has a better chance of going away and winning a blowout? Texas A&M or Auburn, in your opinion?
Oh, Auburn, I think.
Right. Just because of the big ones, the big gashers, the big explosives, as we like to say. No knock against Texas A&M, but Texas A&M just does it a different way. Now, we know Terry Bussey can act a fool at any time, and Casey Concepcion can act, but they just have a myriad of different ways that guys can take it to the house. I hate Horatio Fields, broken foot, probably going to miss the year. Hate that for him. And Hugh Freeze, that was another weapon there for them. But I think overall, there are things that are correct with Auburn. Most notably, of course, the offensive line and some things there that they want to try to correct. But I am very intrigued just to see, once again, I get if you're 3-2 and you may not be where you want to be. But coming out of the bye, if you tell Auburn fans you're 3-2, some highly competitive games, you got Georgia coming to town. Eventually, you got to win some of those games, right? But you still have to be encouraged. For me, in my personal opinion, going into the bye week, getting some things corrected, and then kind of really letting it loose and let it all hang out on October the 11th.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Jackson Arnold, yeah, you might face better teams potentially down the road than Oklahoma, but you won't face a more hostile environment.
No.
The Oklahoma, yeah, going back to Oklahoma, I mean, that's about as bad as it gets for Jackson Arnold. So in that regard, everything is on the up and up. And again, it's not like they were that far away.
Close, man. Close. Vanderbilt's going to be 5-0 going into October 4th at Alabama.
They put a 70 burger.
When last time y'all seen Vanderbilt put up 7 things, a 70 piece or 70 burger? And Georgia State has individual really good players. Players that probably I do not know their eligibility. I'm just saying that if they do have eligibility, they're probably not going to be at the program next year.
Did you hear Diego Pavia after the game, post-game press conference? Somebody asked him something about, how do you motivate yourself when you play against an inferior opponent? And basically he said, I'm paraphrasing here, there's somebody out there that's watching me play for the first time and the last time, and these tickets are expensive, so they expect us to come out and play our best, and that's what we're going to do.
I like that.
And I was like, just a working class.
I like
working class guy.
A working class, just near and dear to your heart.
Just near and dear to my heart.
Bill, you know what? Tough. We ain't giving out no freebies.
Nope. Listen, at least they're 5-0.
They're going to be 5-0. They got Utah State. Utah State's 3-1, but they're going to beat them and be 5-0. Man, how about that? And who's to say that that's not the SEC game of the night next week, in 2 weeks? I don't know. But yeah, once again, I just want, if you get an opportunity, we understand the inferiority of the opponents that they played the last 2 weeks. But we also know that they beat some Power 4 programs as well. Most notably a team that everyone thought probably was going to go back, have a playoff chance in South Carolina.
They also beat teams last year. They were really close last year of beating a handful of really
Texas.
good teams. Yes.
People forget these.
Yeah.
Those 5 fellas up front. I'm going to say this and say this again. For all of our offensive offensive line coaches that listen to this, I don't know the first thing about offensive line play. But here's what I do know. They flying all over the place, and the hand placement may not be great all the time, but I know what they are going to do. Run over your face. They are going to be physical, and they are going to try to punch you dead in your nose consistently and break it. And when I can't take my eye sometimes, on number 50, I think he's one that has his belly rolled up. I ain't never seen that at Vanderbilt. These cats out here, they running. They push. They are moving people.
Yeah, but I said we don't know anything about offensive line play, but we've watched enough football to know that when the line of scrimmage, when the ball is hiked, advances a yard and a half forward.
Correct.
That's pretty good.
Really, really good. And Diego just continues to be so comfortable in this offense that was brought with him from New Mexico State. And it's just fun, man. I'm glad that Clark Lee, who's a good man, and Barton Simmons, and Candace Story-Lee, who's a Huntsville native, the athletic director there, Jordan Matthews on that staff that I know, amazing young man, that they're going to be 5-0 and be in a marquee game against Alabama in 2 weeks. Let's get into the first one. I guess we can get into the marquee game. I think everybody is excited about Alabama, Georgia, because everyone wants to see where Alabama is at relative to what we saw against another quality opponent, i.e. Florida State in week 1. Your first initial thought to this game, and then we might as well just pick a winner. But your thoughts key to the game, what you're looking for with Alabama going on the road between the hedges to take on the Bulldogs.
I mean, I think it comes down to Ty Simpson playing mistake-free football.
Okay. Can he make a mistake and win?
See that? I don't know.
Okay. I don't know that yet.
I don't know if Alabama is capable of playing bad football and still winning. I know Georgia's capable of that.
Yes.
And going to Georgia, they're on a 30-something game home winning streak. Like, they just don't lose there. So, like, all the chips are stacked against Alabama. I just think that Ty Simpson, relative to Jalen Milroe last year, is going to be able to play a more consistent brand of football. Jalen Milroe, the thing that killed Bama last year, just the peaks were really, really high, but the valleys were really, really, really low. And I think Ty Simpson is just – I mean, he reminds me a lot of the past Alabama quarterbacks. I mean, you go back to Mac Jones or A.J. McCarron, Jake Coker, these guys that maybe didn't really flash that much, maybe didn't have the flashiness of a Bryce Young or a Tua, but just and this has kind of been a negative for quarterbacks, but being the field general, being the game manager, like, that's not a bad thing necessarily. So we'll see if he can do that against Georgia. I mean, I guess if you're an Alabama fan, you're looking and saying, well, Georgia doesn't have all the first-rounders on defense the way they have in years past, but also those guys are unproven. And who's to say that over the course of the rest of this season they don't turn into first-rounders? Because for every guy that plays at Georgia, there's a 5-star in front of him and right behind him. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to lean Georgia just because I think at home. But the line, I think, was only 2.5, so that tells you something about what the Sharks in Vegas think about what this game might be.
I think I'm leaning Georgia as well. I guess I'll get that out of the way. I think Georgia wins the game, but I think they win it from the standpoint of two things. Man, their offensive line has been banged all the hell this year. Their secondary, surprisingly enough, Patrick, relative, if you've had an opportunity to watch them, if you watched the Tennessee game, we saw what that happened. They're having a hard time covering folks.
Well, and if Alabama's offensive line would have been more consistent, I think I would have leaned Alabama.
That's right.
I don't like the way they've played this year.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that because you led me right into the reason why I'm picking this. I just think the lines of scrimmage are going to be the difference here. Now, Georgia has not been able to generate any pressure whatsoever in the form of sacks and getting home to the quarterback, right? I think that is a big issue for Kirby Smart. But Kirby has mentioned during the first couple of games of the year that, some of these schemes and stuff that they played, a la the Austin Peay's of the world and the Tennessee's of the world, doesn't make it as such that they're able to get home. We'll see on Saturday. Here's the issue with Alabama being able to see it firsthand for the first time this season against Wisconsin. I watched too many plays that had run concepts go to the perimeter more than I would like. I don't know this for sure, but here's what I believe. If you're not able to run between tackle to tackle and there has to be stretches, and you're doing that means that the swing passes that you're running, remember, everyone, I know we remember out of the half, what was the first play they ran? They ran a swing pass to Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams took it 70-something yards to the house. Those short pass plays to the perimeter and stuff into the boundaries and field side are extensions of the running game. Why is that important for yours truly? It's because it tells me that you all are having a hard time running the football between the tackles, from tackle to tackle. And it could be anything. It could be all tackle. It could be zone. It could be duo. It could be, just power. It could be whatever it may be. But I saw too many plays in person on the football field 2 weeks ago that are trying to press the sideline and try to get upfield and try to find some action there relative to being able to run it. Here's what I know Georgia's going to do. They're going to run it. And I mentioned it during last week's podcast when they were at Tennessee. Games hanging in the balance. They're legitimately a score away from this game getting out of sorts. They are in the third quarter. They go on a 14-play drive, and 13 of those plays were run plays. 13 of them. Whether they were off tackle, whether they were between the tackle, whatever it may be. I believe that Georgia will have a little bit more success being able to stymie the attempted running game for Alabama, but I also believe they're going to be able to run it. I think Nate Frazier could be as big a star as he wants to be for the Georgia Bulldogs in his sophomore season at Georgia. And And then the flip side to that is Glenn Schumann and company, I would be hard-pressed that they're not strategic in bringing pressures to Ty to make him uncomfortable enough, a la what you may have seen in Florida State relative to what his offensive line has given him this first couple of games, that they don't run him into trouble. Like when I used to watch like Saban and when Kirby was there, and with Kirby now there, the one things that always made Bama so awesome is that they ran you into trouble. Yes, they had dudes, Jonathan Allens of the worlds and the beasts they had up front, offensive line that could just get home and move people against their will. But all of the simulated things that you thought you had something and it wasn't there, you would throw a pick, they would run. I just think that Ty is going to have an issue with that. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that Alabama comes up just short in this contest. I think that there will be plays to be had with Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard and Cuevas, and Jan Miller's coming back. You would hope that Tim Keenan will be able to give them something up front and an added big body. I just don't know. I'm not sold on the offensive and defensive lines for Alabama relative to the team that they're playing. Not to say they can't win the game. It would be highly impressive if they do. But Patrick, I feel like this will be competitive. But I don't envision a scenario where A, Bama blows them out, or B, Georgia, it's competitive, but they're in control of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Georgia. I don't have a score or anything like that, but I think it's a competitive game, but I think they win going away in the second half. Could be wrong, but the offensive line, most notably left guard, left tackle, are very concerning to me. I know one guy's going to do his job, and that's Brailsford at center. I just don't know. And listen, those guys get paid millions of dollars. I'm telling you, like, they know there's enough film out there that Iron Sky doesn't lie. They know that left side of the football field, left tackle, left guard, leaves a lot to be desired. So we heard from Kirby Smart earlier this week. He discussed his offensive line, but it was really cool because he discussed his offensive line, but relative to the rest of the offensive lines in college football, nobody's really playing on a consistent basis after a couple of weeks of football.
They got to grow up, Like we got to play better across the offensive line. I tune in and watch games Saturday. There's nobody I'm going, oh man, that's a dominant offensive line right there. They're just running up and down the field on this SEC defense. It doesn't happen. You see really good defensive personnel. You see tough road games. It's not going to be any different in ours.
Yeah. So we've talked about it since the beginning of the season. There's a lot of bad offensive line play. So many tackles getting beat inside. They're not even getting beat around the edge. They're getting beat inside, which is like unheard. Like what? Unheard of. But the issues on offensive lines across the country, it is not good. It's you kind of watch and see how this formulates with your football team, and as they grow, as they gel, and they play more snaps, you hope that as we get to the second half of the year and get into October, that this changes for a lot of teams, Alabama, Georgia, the whole nine. So exciting game there. We'll switch really quick to Auburn and Texas A&M. Your quick thought on that contest and your winner in that game.
I'll take Texas A&M in a real close one.
Yep.
I think this has potential to be probably the best game of the weekend. And yeah, give me Texas A&M. I think Auburn is just right there though. But I picked Texas A&M as a playoff team, so I'm gonna roll with the Aggies.
I'll give the slight edge to Texas A&M, and this is not anything against Auburn relative to what I think they still could do this football season. I think this is maybe kind of the last little test or step for them to understand that, hey, we are just as good as anyone in this league. But I think they're going to take one more of these. And then we can kind of adjust and assess what the rest of the season will look like after their bye week. But I think they're close. If they win this thing, look the hell out. But I think they come up just short. But I think you'll start to see more, in my opinion, the playmakers emerge. But I think it really just depends on Jackson. I hate to put that all on this young man again, but this is just the reality. You're the quarterback for one of the preeminent programs in college football within the SEC. You were a highly touted player. It didn't Geyer. You know how this works. You were at Oklahoma. We know what you can do. We know some struggles that you've had. But ultimately, you're going to be the reason why they win or lose, unfortunately. Whether we would like it or not, hate to say it that way, but we have enough tangible evidence after 3 games that makes us believe that is indeed the case. You were the reason why they won against Baylor. You played 2 inferior opponents. Unfortunately, you missed on a couple of balls that you probably would love to have back. You lose the football game. Jackson Arnold, the ball is in your football is legitimately on your side of the football field. Can you produce? I think he's going to continue to play better. Man, I'd be so disheartened if he doesn't play well, but I think that he plays better. I think this is going to be a great game, and I think it'll be down to the final few minutes of this contest. But we will continue to learn more about Auburn as we head into the bye week, more than we'll know about Texas A&M and the rest of their football season as well. Man, I did not know this. LSU and Ole Miss is the first time both of these two teams will play each other ranked and undefeated since I think the 60s, which is hard to believe. I guess Ole Miss has had success because with Archie Manning and Coach Vaught and back in the day and LSU, but we discussed. Hey, listen, we discussed this young man last week.
I'm about to say you were in on this guy.
Now, OCP may have watched the Ferris State football game a time or two in the OD2 days because North Alabama used to play in OD2 days. Word on the street was, we'll probably hear it 50,000 times ad nauseum during this telecast on Saturday, that one of the assistant coaches just happened to find Trinidad Chambliss on X and saw his tape and was like, I think that can work for us. D2 Ferris State, if you just watch how he operates, we know what Austin Simmons is. Big arm, everything you want in a pro football prospect as he continues his maturation as a college football quarterback. But I'm 42 years old. There are certain quarterbacks in the college game that are just great college players and just got it. Trinidad Chambliss, got it. I want you all, you get a chance tonight, going in the morning, especially if you're an Ole Miss fan or you just want to check this young man out, how he's been able to operate the last 2 weeks. Everything's on, everything, and I hate to say all, but everything has been on time. He is an unbelievable runner of the football from an instinctual standpoint. I don't think from all of the snaps that he's taken this season, I don't know if he's missed on more than three of those things. And when I mean miss, like knowing where to go with the football. Everything has been on time. Everything has been on the money. If he acts a fool in this game Saturday, we will start to begin the Heisman Trophy talk.
Yeah.
He's real. Yeah. And I don't know how else to put this to everyone, but we try to tell you. Austin Simmons has his ankle. We're not doctors. We just play TV people. I find it hard to believe if Trinidad Chambliss was struggling, that Austin Simmons probably wouldn't be back into the fold. Now, this is the third week or second week that we've had this in. He's not playing.
Is expected to be available Saturday,
Expected to be available. Let Trinidad Chambliss start that first quarter and a half and act a fool. I'm going to say it one more time. Portal up.
Yep.
He gone. Because now I don't know, and I need to look this up, and I don't know if Trinidad, what classification he is. I don't. So that changes everything if that's the case. But if he still has,
he's a senior, by the way.
He is a senior.
Yep.
Okay, so Austin, you are safe.
Yep.
But brother.
But Austin on the year, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Trinidad, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Nothing.
Like you said, everything on time.
Everything. I mean, the instinctual running of the football in passing situations, the whole 9. Getting it out quickly decisive in his playmaking. That dude's got something, man. And he wins this game, and he's the catalyst for this. That Heisman talk, I'm telling you, you already know what this is. You know how I feel about like throwing out Heisman Trophy candidates in 4 weeks. But I'm just telling you, on this, we will officially have a list of 6 to 7 guys after this weekend that we'll start discussing the Heisman Trophy. He's one. The young man who I think is immensely talented, Dante Moore at Oregon, he's another. It's unfortunate with John Mateer. He's going to be out of the Heisman race with his broken thumb. But there are some guys.
Ty Simpson could find himself in that race.
There are some guys that can show up and show out. Drew Allen. Let Drew Allen throw for 350, 19 of 25, 4 tuds in a romp over Oregon. Welcome to the conversation, Mr. Aller. So I say all of that to say that, yeah, Trinidad has been fun to watch. We haven't even mentioned Garrett Nussmeier. We don't know. Listen, he could go nuclear. We discussed who has the best wide receiver collection. I love all of them. I think Aaron Anderson is the best wide receiver in the league, pound for pound. If he was 6'1", he'd be top 10, whatever. He is just that good. Barry Brown could go. We know how the big fella at tight end, I call him kind of the enigma. He's just like a free show. And Tradez, he's great. All their guys can go. They got a young guy out there, man, that's really, really good as well. His name escapes me now, but they're trying to get him in. But I will say this with Brian Kelly in this group. And I don't know. He blew a gasket 2 weeks ago. Had to apologize to a Baton Rouge beat writer that asked the question after the Florida game. I'm not acting like Durham is the next best running back of all time at LSU. But, man, if they could just run it some. It's like they are allergic to wanting to run the football.
Yep.
And that can help you more down the line than it hurts you. But it's just like they don't even care. Like they don't even care to run it. I get you got Garrett, but man, like it'd be advantageous to be able to dictate pace and tempo with running the football.
I mean, and Garrett, for as much talent as he has, he's not necessarily set the world on fire this year.
That is a great point. I didn't get to, man, I watched the first 6 minutes of the first quarter when they were playing Southeastern Louisiana last week, and I was trying to just did not have enough time to get through it all. But man, like sometimes, like some of them opening throws that I saw from him, and I get it's early. It was early in the game, but Patrick sailing high, guys had to jump up extremely high to try to go get those as far as little swing passes and stuff. I don't know where this game is going to go. It's in Oxford. I don't have a lean either way. I'll leave it to you because I just don't know. I told you how I felt about LSU and what I thought of them being a playoff team. I believe that any football program can afford 2 losses this year, bare minimum. Your thoughts on what you've seen from Ole Miss now that you got this infusion of Trinidad Chambliss and LSU? Your thoughts on who wins the game?
This is my least favorite coach going up against my favorite coach. So I'll give me Ole Miss. Give me the over. I will not cheer for Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers. So I'll take Trinidad. Fantastic name, by the way, for a quarterback.
How awesome is his name?
I mean, come
Trinidad
on.
Chambliss? Like what? It sounds like just a great college football player.
Yeah, you can't write a name any better than that. So give me the Cinderella story with Trinidad catapulting to the top of the Heisman race.
Really quick before we move on, how ironic would it be that Ole Miss makes the playoff with this roster, relative to the animals that they had on that roster a year ago?
But that's how it happens. That's how it works, right? Sometimes,
Sometimes
it's crazy.
Hey, I remember, Tennessee Vol fans can vividly remember. Peyton Manning had some amazing football teams his 4 years. Could never beat Florida. And the next following year, T. Martin leads the Tennessee Volunteers to the national championship. And I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how that works. It really is.
And there's added motivation from, I'm sure you saw Kiffin's daughter.
Oh yeah, well,
your boy Whit Weeks.
My guy 40. The young fellas, the young cats in the newsroom had to tell me that. I don't, cause see, here's my problem. Here's what I thought. There's more than one linebacker at LSU. I didn't really like when they said that she was dating a LSU linebacker. I promise you, which is weird. Pretty much borderline. It's not even borderline. It's dumb. I just thought it was somebody else. I didn't think it was Whit Weeks. I thought Whit Weeks had a girlfriend and all that stuff. No, it's legitimately Whit Weeks. And then, of course, Lane Kiffin gets on there and says, take the over. Lane, keep on laying it, brother. I love that dude, man. He's different, to say the least.
He's something.
Leave that there.
Do you think, just real quick, I do think Lane Kiffin at some point finds himself back in the NFL.
I do not.
You don't think he finds himself back at the National Football League?
I don't know this. I'm not
because I'm scouting head coaches.
I know you are. That would be phenomenal.
That would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. He would be perfect in Nashville if that were indeed to happen.
I just think his dad spent so much time. I do. I just think at some point he does find himself back in it. But I could be completely wrong.
I think eventually he could. If money talks and you know what walks. So if Amy Adams Strunk opens up that checkbook and is like, hey man, come on over here. New stadium, number 1 overall player pick in the draft, quarterback. You got that. You have free reign to do what you want. Yeah. I think Lane Kiffin really thoroughly enjoys college, and I think he thoroughly enjoys Ole Miss. I'm not saying that that's where he eventually he retires, but I think Ole Miss is good for him now. Now, I will tell you, if they win in a big way this year and a lot more avenues and doors open for him, I think it could be different. I agree with that. I would not be surprised. Hot take. Hate to throw this on, just speculating because this is just mere speculation. I find it hard pressed that if some big jobs come up within college football and in the SEC that he doesn't make a move. It's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to be like my man because I know of John Sokoloff, who reported that he was going to Auburn, which from all indications that was almost a done deal. It didn't happen. But I just get a sneaky suspicion that I don't know if Ole Miss is his final stop. Now, if he wins a national championship, I think it changes things. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's his end-all be-all stop. I'll just leave it at that. But I think that if there are some monster jobs that come open within the league or beyond.
Can we talk him to Nashville? Can we get on the phone with him?
I think he would listen. I think he would absolutely listen.
Maybe Cam Ward, Alec Omer, got some receivers, new stadium. Nashville's a party city. Is he still a bachelor?
No, I believe he has a significant other. I believe. We're gonna leave it at that. Don't even.
I'm not saying nothing else.
I know exactly.
I'm
what
saying
you're
nothing
going.
else.
Hey, if Kentucky beats South Carolina, is it DEFCON 1? Do we Is it Katie? Is it House on Fire?
Yeah.
I love Shane Beamer. Think he's a good dude. From everything, I don't know this man. Never met this man in my life. Just from afar. They cannot lose this game.
Yeah, and Lenore Sellers has to play well.
And I hate that for him. But it goes back to what
he's got a lot of money riding on how he plays the rest of the season.
He does. I thought he was solid last week in Missouri. Mm-hmm. I did. I think he did not. To me, I think he did nothing but enhance some of the things that NFL franchises and heads of scouting are looking for a franchise guy, right? Love the ball on the rail down on the short sideline, on the far right sideline that his teammate caught. With all that said, they cannot lose this game. Now, Mark Stoops wins this game, then things change for Kentucky in a positive way, in the standpoint of, hey, yeah, it's not as bad as we all think it may be, but I mean, South Carolina has to win this game. In my opinion, I think they need it more than Kentucky needs it, right? In my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. Mississippi State is hosting Tennessee at 3:15 on the SEC network.
Be careful.
Is it safe to say that we, regardless of what the point total is, that you take the over?
Yeah.
I am just excited for Stark Vegas to be lit in the afternoon. That's going to be fun.
They got a lot of confidence.
Patrick, that may be one of the 4 or 5 most entertaining games for just an entertainment value that you'll see. Because I think both of them are going to flat out go for it.
Boy, what if Lebby and Mississippi State comes away 5-0?
And then if you look at their schedule, Patrick, I was just looking at it earlier this week. You're 5-0 and you head to Texas A&M next week. It's already the SEC Network game of the week, so it's going to be on the SEC Network. So that's the night game. But you're 5-0, and your next 4 games are Texas A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas. I mean, listen, everyone's happy they're just bowl eligible, right? But man, to be almost there as you head into the month of October, play with house money, man.
Yeah.
I love that for them. But yeah, I'm excited to see that too. Like I said, there's just so many amazing matchups and amazing games here. Let's go before we go national. We got to go to the team that I may be a fan of in South Bend, Indiana, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in Fayetteville, Arkansas, taking on what appears to be from the peripheral. According to numerous reports, the house is for real on fire in Arkansas. Brandon Marcello, an esteemed college football journalist, basically said in no certain form that they're trying to figure out how to move on from Sam Pittman, all while Bobby Petrino, the former coach at Arkansas, is behind the scenes making phone calls to not only become the interim once this happens, but more importantly, try to become the permanent head coach.
This is some Game of Thrones type.
It is.
Little finger type.
It
of
is
stuff.
real deal. It is real deal. Now remember, for those college football fans that are of a certain age, people need to remember that Bobby Petrino at one time was coaching in this state as an offensive coordinator. And was a head coach at another school and was being flown around in said jet about to try to take this job, got caught and had to backtrack and didn't pull the trigger on becoming the head football coach at said school. Just look that up. I'm just going to throw that out there. But that was a thing. And they called it Jetgate. This is in 2003.
This is what happens, though, Sam. You knew this. You knew this was going to happen. Come on, you knew this guy's history, but you sold your soul to try to the last ditch effort because Bob Petrino is a talented play caller, is a talented head coach.
He is.
But this was a last ditch effort to save your job, and you had to have known in the back of his head. You know, old Pittman probably got a couple cold beers in him. He's probably talking to his family. He's like, "Hey, if this goes sideways, this dude's going to stab me in the back. I know it."
And Patrick, what makes it even worse, he had no control over. They said we're hiring him.
Yeah.
This guy's on your staff. You can. Everyone needs to make sure that we all understand that Bobby Petrino was not. He knew as soon as that was happening. He's like, yeah. So he's trying to. My personal opinion, I don't care if Sam Pittman and then win the whole thing. I find it hard pressed that he doesn't like walk away, retire, or if you want to be petty, just be like, oh, fire me now.
That's what
I want a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
Do it. So how should I say this?
They probably get blown out Saturday.
Listen.
This is Notre Dame's get right game against a team that's on fire. Yeah.
Patrick.
This is about to get ugly.
And I was about to say, man, we know how we feel about Taylor Green. Let me tell you something about Taylor Green. As we know, hey, fans of college football, fans of the Arkansas Razorbacks, the cat in a blink of an eye can go 60 and he can throw it a country mile. He can single-handedly win the game for Arkansas. Here's the problem. Much like Notre Dame is kind of all over the place with their defense and new defensive coordinator Chris Ash and the communication and not getting any kind of pressure between the tackles up front. If you think they have issues, go and watch Arkansas. I don't know if they may be one of the, and I was listening to Irish Illustrated, a podcast from the great Tim Priester, and so many other colleagues were discussing. They watched some film of some of the other Arkansas games. I watched the Ole Miss game, and then I watched the end of the Memphis game last week. Tackling is optional for the secondary back there. And you couple that with Notre Dame being able to take advantage and press the tackle and edge with those two cyborgs at running back and Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. This could be a long day. Also, Notre Dame, for the first time in my life, has a for real dude at quarterback. CJ Carr is about that. And that redshirt freshman is continuing to show that he was the right choice for Marcus Freeman as the head coach to be the quarterback over Kenny Minchie. Malachi Fields, number 0, is a big body, big target. The wide receivers as a whole really hadn't got started outside of Jordan Faison. But I thought coming into the year that from a projection standpoint that Notre Dame would either be 2-0 or more likely split their games with Texas A&M and Miami. I thought that they would probably lose this game. Here we are now, 1-1. We know that I believe that Arkansas is going to have a last-ditch effort or couldn't. But a lot of Notre Dame insiders from podcasts that I've been listening to this week have basically said this is just a culture game. And what I mean by that is people believe that Notre Dame's culture and the makeup of what this can become eventually is just off the charts relative to Arkansas. And the more and more I think about this, taking away Indy Golden Domer hat aside, I just don't see, unless Notre Dame turns it over multiple times, just a myriad of mistakes, that they don't win this game going away. You think it's going to be a blowout?
I think it's a blowout. I think you'll, if you're watching one of these other games, they'll do the little score break thing, and it'll be Jeremiah Love on like a 45-yard touchdown run, and the thing will say 35-3.
Yeah.
It's like that.
And then, I mean, it's only a matter of time for Mr. Pittman. Because
because this never works out well. When an insider starts reporting that
so bad,
the team never turns it around.
Well, here's the other part too, Patrick. In this day and age, because that was such a big thing this news that really started breaking and stuff in the 2000s, mid 2000s. You know, we just mentioned Bobby Petrino and Jidgate.
Yeah.
You know, you're the offensive coordinator at Auburn for a year. You go to Louisville, be the head coach. We know this. He says you had a Louisville. I used to go to the practices because I was interning at a station there. So I saw an Orange Bowl caliber team, a team that was a field goal away from playing for the national championship against Ohio State. You spend a year at Auburn as an offensive coordinator. You leave. Tuberville gets fired, and Auburn sends a plane and a jet to you, and it got out. So we see. So now in this day and age of the transfer portal, kids see everything, man. So now you think to yourself, shoot, what's going on? I'm looking at my future. Do I need to redshirt to save my eligibility? Am I looking to transfer out? Am I whispering to the program? So the house legitimately could be on fire. And you are talking me into saying that this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I didn't think that. I thought that they would be close for a half and then Notre Dame pulls away. But you're saying in your personal opinion, you think from the start, this is going to be after the first quarter, this is going to be out of sorts.
I'm just asking, think back. When have you ever heard of an insider coming out and saying the program is on fire, and then that program goes out on a Saturday and puts up a real competitive effort and surprises everybody against a quality team? It does not happen.
You're right. I don't even know why. You're right. I like Notre Dame. You've talked me into this being a blowout, but man, Taylor Green could just change life.
He can, but I mean, he can he's also a kid. What do you think is going to happen if he makes one mistake and Notre Dame goes up and he's like, okay, well, I mean, team's on fire. The coach is going to get fired. This is it. They're going to start booing in Fayetteville. That's going to happen.
According to ESPN, Notre Dame's a 4.5-point favorite. And total points over 63.5. You have to choose one. You taking the points or you taking the total points over?
Oh, I'm taking the points. I don't know if it gets, because 42-0 is not over 63.
Correct.
Over 63.
But you believe Notre Dame takes over 4.5?
Yes, I think it's going away.
So interesting, man. Okay, we're going to switch gears to the national level, and I've really been looking forward to this game since it was announced, because we kind of had an idea of both teams were going to be probably undefeated. I think that Penn State even reaching the college football playoff semifinal last year, we all have questions with them relative to the absolute putrid non-conference schedule that they played. How about these bangers for you? Nevada week 1, FIU week 2, Villanova week 3. That do anything for you?
No.
But someone told me, since they're ranked number 2, someone told me, why in the world is Notre Dame 0-2 coming into last week and ranked?
Well, somebody also put Illinois number 9, and then they got dog walked by Indiana.
Dog walked. Absolute shout out to Kirk Signetti.
Shout out.
Because I watched that thing.
I didn't think you should be in the playoff last year.
You believe now, don't you?
But I like it now. I like it. I liked him last year too. I just didn't think they were there. That Mendoza kid is legit.
We discussed for Fernando Mendoza in the summer, because we had an opportunity to watch him against Auburn, but watching him against Miami and watching him, I think I watched him his last game of the year against, I think it was Stanford. Be very careful when we start getting into January, February, in draft time. If you want to hear somebody that has a Jackson Dart type meteoric rise as we head into next, Fernando Mendoza, and let him keep playing like this. You may find yourself in the midst of going to New York City.
I'm about to say, I think if you start looking at the favorites, he's up there.
I think like ESPN bet had him at plus 650.
Yeah.
So I say all that to kind of come back to Penn State. I don't know what Penn State is. I know the talent they got. I know that they got a veteran quarterback. I know that that has a lot of talent. I know they have some amazing defensive players on that side of the football. We know what the two-headed monster with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton are at running back. We know they've enhanced their wide receiver group with Pena there from Syracuse transfer, the whole nine. Here's what I know about Oregon. You know how I feel about Dan Lanning. They may get their doors blown off on Saturday. But here's what I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. From the jump, punch you in your darn face, rake your eyes, and try to kick you in where the sun don't shine. They are going to come out, and they want all of the smoke. So I ain't got to worry about no mentality with them. See, when you're Penn State, and when you're a program, much like the NFL, we discuss it. See, what makes the NFL so great is because everybody's good. The Tennessee Titans and New Orleans Saints of the world I used to hate back when I was a kid, people used to talk about like the dominant Miami teams and Nebraska teams. Well, they could beat the 0-11 Cleveland Browns. No, they wouldn't score. They lose 80-0.
Yeah.
There's a reason why these guys get paid in these 53-man rosters. Penn State, there is not one feasible person alive that could tell me, relative to their first 3 games of the year, that you can truly have a gauge on what they can be with this first live opponent. Now, this could go 2 ways. Number one, you can try to save and hide and do all the things with Jim Knowles as your defensive coordinator and whatnot. You can all kind of hide and mask kind of what you're going to do and kind of circle the wagons and be prepared for this game. You got a veteran group. I get it. But what I also do know is, yes, Oregon may have not have played the Buffalo Bills of the world, but here's what I do know. They played Montana State the first game, 59-13. Okay, you got me. We know Oklahoma State doesn't have a coach anymore. They won 69-3. And they beat another program 34-14 Northwestern. And then they beat Oregon State, who doesn't have a post, 41-7. Everybody better be real careful that if you look up and when this AP poll comes out on Monday, Oregon's not number one because they've absolutely dog-walked Penn State. Don't be surprised. It should continue to go to the recalibration of mind for college football fans. Play quality opponents. You're going to get rewarded in the future for playing quality opponents, win, lose, or draw. You got to win some of them. No one is saying that. But there's not one soul alive with me with this smartphone in my hand that I'm looking at these 3 teams that they played in Penn State and have any reason to believe. I don't know what this can be. I'm not saying they can't win the game. There's a reason why you're inside the top 5. You have NFL talent across the board. You're going to be having the whiteout at night. Do you think in your right mind, relative to what you know about Dan Lanning in this program, do you think they give a flying you-know-what about a whiteout at night, at day, in the North Pole, Antarctica, here in Huntsville, in Nashville, wherever? You think they care about any of that?
No, they'd spot it in the parking lot and play.
Put it in the parking lot and give me the biggest boulder you can. We'll throw that for the football. I don't know where you're going to go with this game. From a tactical standpoint, and X's and O's and watching, a little bit of 22 and watching a little bit of TV copy, I can't go against Oregon.
I can't either. There were 2 quarterback darlings coming in to this college football season that all these analysts and these experts kept telling me was good and I should watch out for, and that's Cade Klubnik and Drew Aller. We've seen how Clemson has melted down Cade Klubnik. I didn't see this last year with Drew Aller. When he needed to make plays, he couldn't make them. That's why Penn State lost the game. Until he does it, I just can't pick this team.
How can you?
And if Penn State couldn't do it last year with the amount of talent they had, we've seen what Tyler Warren and Abdul Carter are doing now in the NFL, balling. If you couldn't do it last year, what makes you think you're going to do it this year? I don't get it. I don't understand.
My opinion, I think we leave that contest late Saturday night when everybody's ready to lay it down, get ready for Sunday and football on Sunday. I think when we look back, I think there's 2 things that you're going to say. I hope that I'm wrong because I have the immense amount of respect for Penn State. I have immense amount of respect for James Franklin and his program. I think when we walk out of here Saturday night, the best quarterback on the field will be Dante Moore. His stock will continue to elevate, and he will be moved right into the conversation of a Heisman hopeful. And I think everyone's going to say Oregon and Miami legitimately may be two of the 3 or 4 best teams in college football. Oregon may jump up to number 1 after this. I'm not saying this is a blowout, but I think the fight is going to be took to Penn State rather early. And if James Franklin has gotten some flack from Penn State fans screaming at him as he leaves the field against Ohio State last year, be careful here. Now, they can do some things that kind of, Dante Moore can help the matters if you don't play well either.
Yeah.
But I just think all of the things around it, the way they can run the football, I want y'all to go watch. I want y'all to keep an eye on, I think it's number 18. Oregon has a tight end, Patrick. Man, they make him an extension of the line. He's blowing people up. They can run it. We discussed this young man because I like recruiting from a little bit. I'm not in it like I was with high school recruiting, but I told everybody about DeCorian Moore. I told you all from Duncanville, Texas, and they have slowly kind of continued to move number 4 into the fold. Be careful.
Yeah, don't let the impression of the last time Oregon played a real team in Ohio State in the playoff fool you. Ohio State was a legit. We might look back and say that's one of the historically great teams in college football.
Hold on. Everybody keep talking about the blowout. Now, I thought we saw it all in 2 eyes in Autzen Stadium. Did they win that game?
Yeah.
So it ain't like they didn't they split with them?
Yeah.
You just caught Ohio State when all the wagons were circled.
Yeah, the last impression though is just Ohio State was rolling and they went in and we went to that game. I just remember that they went into that game because the other game went later. I think the Arizona State game, and it was already like 21-0. I was like, oh,
we're like, this is what this is.
Yeah, that's what this is. But don't let that fool you because that can fool you sometimes.
I like Oregon. We'll see. We'll see if this is a different Penn State relative to what this team is about.
I mean, quickly. If Drew Aller is that guy that everyone keeps saying he is, this is the moment to show it. I don't think he is, though. Spoiler alert.
I'm excited, man.
It's a great weekend.
It's just an amazing weekend. I'm super, super thrilled for it. And there's so many other games that we'll touch base with next week. I'll tell you another sneaky one, too, really quick. Everyone, go do your best. Just go to YouTube or whatever. Watch the television copy. Go watch Washington. I want y'all to go watch DeMond Williams at quarterback. A dude. Ohio State's favored by 7.5 in this contest. I'm telling you right now, I am taking the points in Washington. Do not be surprised. Washington comes away and wins this. Now, Ohio State's defense looks the part early on. I like this Washington group, and I like DeMond Williams. Please go watch him. Pretty please. He is fantastic. Like, subscribe. Where podcasts are available, no matter where you can find them. Leave us a comment on our podcast pages. We a labor of love for us because we just like talking ball. We like having a good time in our midst of our busy schedules. But yeah, we are in the thick of college football. We'll touch base with the NFL as well next week. I waited to talk anything about the Titans solely because I just wanted to see the first Sunday with a play caller not named Brian Callahan. And we're going to save that till next week. I want him to legitimately have a grade sheet next week about the Tennessee Titans because I just really wanted
it can't be much worse than what it is. So
it cannot. And I'm going to leave it there because he would absolutely go nuclear and we'd be here for another 45 minutes. No one needs that because he is pissed off. iTunes, Spotify, anywhere where podcasts are available, come find us. Take after take. Leave us a like, a 5-star review. Leave us a comment or 2 or 7. It doesn't matter. We will see you back here next week. I'm going to say this one more time, folks. No pumpkin patch pictures. Leave your significant others at home. Leave them alone. Get back with them on Monday. We'll be back. We'll be right back with the honeydew list and in the fold next week. But this weekend, let us lock arms, hand in hand as a congregation. Forever and ever, college football. For producer Pat, I'm Carl Prather. We'll see you back here next week.